Hello everyone, my name is Luttrell, and welcome to my reflection video. What you're about to see is a small collection of just some of the coursework that I've completed during my time in the EdTech program at Boise State University. To bring you up to speed on my background, approximately 5 years ago, I was in the final semester of my undergraduate studies in instructional system design when I applied for a competitive internship with the United States Army. I was accepted and would start the program the following summer. Once I got into the program, I learned that this program was going to afford me the opportunity to complete my graduate studies. Before I would choose a college, though, I went into some analysis and chose what I thought were the top 10 universities in the nation that provided ed tech degrees. Needless to say, Boise State came out ranked number one, hands down. It wasn't just another degree I was after, though. I wanted to actually learn how to use technology to be a better designer. I wanted to learn how to build and design more effectively and more efficiently to make courseware that was more interactive and more fun for the students. I've really enjoyed my whole experience at Boise State in the EdTech program. And I am looking forward to being completed so that I can move on and expand upon the knowledge, the things that I've learned while I've been in the program, and hopefully find another opportunity where I can challenge those new skill sets.
EdTech 502, the Internet for Educators. This was my first class with Boise State University. I was introduced to Dr. Shireen Snelson. We studied, or rather we delved into creating web pages using HTML authoring system Dreamweaver. That was my first experience with Dreamweaver. I'd previously only worked with HTML code. We developed web pages using CSS templates a lot, writing HTML, and CSS code. And I was first introduced to the W3C standards and learned how to validate my code to ensure it was in compliance with these standards. Also, I was introduced to Fireworks during this term, where we created graphics in an appropriate format for web pages, learned how to modify images using image editing software of various kinds. We also learned to insert images correctly into web pages, create client-side image maps like concept maps and such, as we did in one of our particular assignments, and how to apply appropriate design principles to create professional looking websites was kind of the key to that segment of the class. Just weeks into the class, we would delve further into cascading style sheets, learn to copy and paste code into web pages, write CSS to position web page content. We would write and apply external CSS style sheets to multiple web pages even, and write and apply alternative style sheets. Eventually we created our first default web page or website, and applying file management skills to maintain local and remote website files and folders, and just the compilation of our work as a whole, creating navigation menus for multiple web pages from one central location. Once we had mastered the basics or the foundational skills of web page design and building, we went on to build and create accessible web pages for individuals with disabilities, setting up netiquette pages so individuals could have rules outlined for them, web page usage and communication procedures. We identified and applied copyright and fair use guidelines for website development and outlined those things on those types of pages that we were building. And we learned to use internet search tools to locate high quality instructional content, and learned how to identify whether it was a Creative Commons element or something that needed citation. Towards the end of the semester, we had all seemingly mastered the foundational skills of web page building, and so then we had to build a compilation site. We actually did that as we went along, but although not very impressive, meeting the minimum standards, it was about foundation building, and we all did a good job of that. And we built sites such as the netiquette site to develop appropriate rules for netiquette for specified groups of learners. We developed a page with hot links for that led to essential information concerning web accessibility or content of the course or the site that we were building. We developed internet scavenger hunts, jigsaw cooperative learning activities. We integrated internet resources into those types of pages. We developed online learning activities for mobile devices and developed a WebQuest learning activity that integrated internet resources as well. And the capstone was a virtual field trip that we developed, a virtual field trip learning activity that integrated multimedia and internet resources. EdTech 511 interactive courseware development was a little more than I expected. I expected kind of some multimedia work here, but it ended up being a Flash authoring course with Dr. Andy Hung. It was an exciting class for me, though. Flash was definitely something I wanted to delve into, and so I was excited once I got in it to find out that that's really what this class was all about. I learned a lot in this class. We explored, categorized, and evaluated existing Flash products in the beginning, and then we learned to create basic Flash projects that incorporated animation. We learned the difference between tweening, motion tweening movies, and all the different elements that are in Flash. I learned about layering and the multiple layers that can be involved in a simple or complicated Flash project. Of course, like most of the classes in the MET program, we participated in class discussions in online communication, and we shared resources and ideas and drew conclusions on our projects and the issues revolving around those projects, like troubleshooting some of the issues that always evolve when dealing with technology. In the end, we would individually develop, each one of us, an interactive instructional program using Flash. So building a Flash web page with an instructional product in the end was the goal for this class. EdTech 506 Graphic Design for Learning. This was a class that I didn't take till almost the second to the last semester of completing my degree, or attempting to complete my degree anyway. I could have taken this early on in my degree program, but actually the class then was more about message design than graphics, so I'm kind of glad that I put this one off until later. I had this class with Professor Tae John, and I really had a lot of fun in this class, creating graphics and learning how to apply principles of graphic design while developing instructional materials and presentations. I learned how to select appropriate combinations of graphics and image representations to supplement text-based instruction. I learned how to develop instructional content and integrate those multiple instructional messages in it to achieve the learning objectives of what would eventually become my final project, which you will see here shortly in this segment of the video. We delved into multiple image editing softwares during this course, but primarily Fireworks was the main program that we used in modifying all our digital content and print formats for this. This class was really fun for me, and I'm glad I took it later on in the degree, though, because it kind of helped tie in some of the things for me personally that I thought I needed to know as a designer. EdTech 513 Multimedia, Dr. Barbara Schroeder was my instructor. This was one of my most memorable classes, probably because of the content. We delved into so many different software platforms out there, freeware, shareware, and the like. I did not realize how many different programs were out there for productivity and just creation. And you can see there on the slide some of the ones that we delved into. And this is when I was really introduced to podcasting, and I really started to learn a lot about Audacity and some of the recording softwares out there. Audacity was kind of the one that we used primarily because we were focusing on freeware that was out there for teachers and students. This class infected me across the board because of the just the tools and things that were out there. That was very intriguing and exciting to me, and it actually infected my kids and family as they saw me editing things and creating and editing and coming up with new things. They started kind of doing their own experiments, creating their own portfolios and videos, audios, and the like. This even caught on in my workplace at the time. I was tasked to develop a professional development multimedia course, which I actually coordinated with Dr. Schroeder, Barb, and Chris Haskell, and they came out and actually taught a one-week multimedia class at my organization, and I got to participate in the Cool Teacher podcast with them too. If you search the archives for that, it was multimedia at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. That was really fun and exciting too. I learned a lot more about recording and recording equipment, and Chris is just a master at that on-the-fly editing stuff. I hope I can get to that level at some point. But anyway, this class here was kind of another one of those classes that brought everything together for me. Although it was in the beginning, it was
Currently, I work for the United States Army. I'm a training evaluator. My primary responsibility is to go out and evaluate military police training, analyze the training development process, evaluate instructors, make sure that the training execution is being adhered to, that everyone involved is following all the rules and regulations, and that they're in compliance with regulatory guidance. This type of a job doesn't exactly allow me or afford me the opportunity to capitalize on the skills that I've learned at Boise State University. And I'm always looking for new challenges. So in saying that, if an opportunity were to arise that would allow me to move on or go elsewhere so that I could expand on those things and challenge my new skills, I certainly would consider it. In the beginning of this video, I stated that I was very pleased with my education and enjoyed the experience in the EdTech program. And I have. The professors that I've worked with, the courseware, the tools that we've used, and the things that we've explored have all been exciting and fun. I'm going to miss it on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm ready to move on and go out and expand on those new skills and challenge those new skills and try to apply them in the next phase of my life.